Hey everyone, welcome back to Healthcare Compliance Academy, your go-to source for all things HIPAA. We're diving into the nitty-gritty of HIPAA compliance in healthcare. Specifically, we're tackling the top 10 tasks of a HIPAA compliance privacy officer. This is for all you dedicated folks in healthcare offices who make sure patient privacy is a top priority. First up, we're talking risk assessments. A HIPAA compliance privacy officer regularly reviews all the ways patient information is used and stored. They're looking for any cracks in the system that could put that info at risk. Think of it like a detective searching for clues, but instead of solving a crime, they're preventing one. By identifying these vulnerabilities early on, you can fix them before any damage is done. Now you can't just talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk, right? That's where privacy policies come in. A HIPAA compliance privacy officer doesn't just enforce these policies, they write the playbook. They've got to make sure those policies are crystal clear, easy to follow, and actually protect patient information. It's serious business, but hey, someone's gotta do it, right? Okay, so we've got our policies in place, but what good are they if nobody knows how to follow them? That's where training comes in. The HIPAA compliance privacy officer is like the teacher, making sure everyone in the office knows the HIPAA ABCs. They're explaining the do's and don'ts, making sure everyone's on the same page. Because let's face it, even the best policies are useless if no one knows how to follow them. Chapter 4. Monitoring compliance with HIPAA rules. Now, it's not enough to just train everyone once and call it a day. Think of the HIPAA compliance privacy officer as the hall monitor of HIPAA compliance, making sure everyone is following the rules. They're making sure that all those safeguards we put in place are actually working. It's all about staying proactive and catching any slip-ups before they turn into major HIPAA headaches. Chapter 5. Investigating privacy breaches. Okay, so even with the best intentions, sometimes things go wrong. That's where our HIPAA compliance privacy officer puts on their detective hat again. They investigate any potential HIPAA hiccups, figure out what went wrong and how to fix it. It's all about damage control and making sure it doesn't happen again. Chapter 6. Ensuring patient rights. Now let's not forget about the heart of HIPAA, the patients themselves. They have rights, you know. Our trusty HIPAA compliance privacy officer makes sure patients know how to exercise those rights. They're making sure patients can access their own medical records, that they understand their privacy rights, and that they know how to file a complaint if they need to. It's all about empowering patients and making sure they have a voice. Chapter 7. Managing business associate agreements. Now, sometimes healthcare providers need a little help from their friends, right? We're talking about those third-party vendors who handle sensitive patient information. But before anyone shares anything, our HIPAA compliance privacy officer swoops in to make sure everything is above board. It's like a legal safety net, making sure everyone's playing by the same rules. Chapter 8. Conducting internal audits. Okay, so we've got all these policies and procedures in place. But how do we know they're actually working? That's where internal audits come in. Our HIPAA compliance privacy officer takes a deep dive into the organization's practices, checking for any gaps in compliance. Gotta stay in tip-top shape. Chapter 9. Responding to patient complaints. Let's face it, sometimes patients have questions or even complaints about their privacy. Our HIPAA compliance privacy officer is there to listen and address those concerns. They'll investigate the issue, provide answers, and work to resolve any problems. After all, they're the reason we're all here. Chapter 10. Keeping policies and procedures updated. Last but not least, we gotta stay up to date. The world of HIPAA compliance is constantly evolving. Our HIPAA compliance privacy officer knows that. They're constantly reviewing and updating the organization's policies and procedures to make sure they're in line with the latest HIPAA guidelines. Because let's face it, in the world of HIPAA, you snooze, you lose. Outro: stay informed, stay compliant. So there you have it. The top 10 tasks of a HIPAA compliance privacy officer. It's a big job, but someone's gotta do it. Remember, keeping patient information safe and sound is everyone's responsibility. Our online 5-week comprehensive HIPAA bootcamp course is the most cost-effective and effective way to stay informed and updated. Thanks for watching, and stay compliant.